I'm really passionate about finding community, seeking community, working towards nourishing community, really wherever I go. My name is Kwesi Osaze Billups. I'm a Black queer artist from the DMV, and I am an urban agricultural manager and teacher. The work of Eden and my work here has been largely rooted in food sovereignty. I have been involved with the work of Eden since its inception. I started as a volunteer because my mom founded the garden, and so really working to build this project from the ground up has been a huge part of my upbringing. So Project Eden stands for Everyone Deserves to Eat Naturally. Really the name, Everyone Deserves to Eat Naturally, it's a statement, and it's a necessary statement because the area that Eden is located in and that in the community that Eden serves is located in a food desert. And so right now we're in Ward 8 of Washington, D.C., specifically the Southeast region, and the residents of this area are mostly Black. And this is a food desert, meaning that access to healthy and affordable foods is extremely limited. Project Eden is partnering with Faith Presbyterian Church to initiate a second Eden. The new greenhouse is smaller. There's been more intention and care taken to make sure that the space is able to be used efficiently. And I played a huge role in that by building site-specific garden beds. Political ecology is a passion of mine, and it's a core driver of the work that I want to do, the life that I want to live, and the community that I want to envision. Really, you want collards to be pulled before they begin to flower, and you want the flowers cut off so that it preserves the taste of the collards. As you get your hands in the dirt, there's always something new to learn, and there's always a different practice to incorporate.
The best academic experience you can have in a lot of our communities, go and sit on the porch with somebody who's been there for a long time. They can tell you things that the scientists will not tell you because they haven't spent any time there. I found out that there were wastewater problems in Lowndes County. A lot of people were either straight piping, which was when they flushed the toilets, it was going out on the ground, or we found on-site septic systems that were not working. And although I've been a canary in the coal mine for 19 years talking about this issue, a lot of people thought that it was just a Lowndes County issue, but it's an issue across the United States.
Since 2002, I've visited homes with wastewater failures at all levels. I first began meeting with people about this problem in the early 2000s as a pastor, a pregnant woman, and other members of the community were being threatened with or actually arrested for not being able to afford on-site wastewater treatment. Yes, it is a crime in this country if you could not afford wastewater treatment. I'm very, very committed to finishing what I've started as it relates to raising the issues of rural infrastructure and the fact that a lot of these communities have been left out. And I feel that we have to be embedded in the community. If you go into a community to work, stay in the community, spend time in the community. So for those people that can't understand my passion for Lowndes County and why I do what I do, is they only have to come here. That no matter what I do or where I go, I have to go back to where I'm from, and this is where I'm from. I'm an environmentalist because you cannot talk about the environment and not talk about health. You can't talk about the environment and not talk about how we treat nature. So part of environmental science is knowing about wastewater and how you treat it and how it impacts the environment, how it impacts the water bodies. All of that, I think, is connected, and that's why I'm an environmentalist. If you care about people and you care about land and you care about, God's creation, you're an environmentalist. And I'm very, very interested in what we do for 7 generations to come in terms of leaving a perfect place for our children to live.
Hi, my name is Pamela. I'm from Lowndes County, Alabama, and I live in a mobile home with my 2 kids. And I got raw sewage. I don't have no money on power. They charged me over $114,000 on a mobile home that's falling apart.
Do you see that somebody that would take advantage of a poor family as criminal?
Yeah, it was sick. Yes,
like
it's a criminal.
It's criminal.
Yes, they treated us wrong.
Pamela let us come in her house courageously. It was hard. She said, I want the nation maybe to help somebody else. A predatory lender made her pay $120,000 for a single wide house that she's still paying for. She's in the Poor People's Campaign. She said, I have no place else to go but fight.
What's it like living without a septic tank system?
It's bad. And I don't like to see this, stuff running out on the ground like this.
I have to make sure that in Pamela's memory and for her children's future that we dismantle these structures that kept her trapped.
When through the deep waters I cause thee to go, the rivers of sorrow shall not overflow. That's an excerpt from a 1787 hymn that was found in Harriet Tubman's biography by Sarah Bradford. And it seems to be perfect as the theme for her life of always having to go through deep waters and knowing that she would be protected, that the rivers of sorrow would not overflow.
For Harriet Tubman, her ability to be in nature was a matter of life and death for her and for the people she was leading north to freedom. Many people, if they've heard of Harriet Tubman, they know about her career as a conductor on the Underground Railroad. They may know less about her reliance on and her mastery of her environment, which is the thing that actually made her such a successful conductor on the Underground Railroad. A familiarity with the landscape, of how you moved through woods and forests, how you negotiated waterways, always with a mind to keep your eye focused north, on the North Star, and on freedom. And she was able to maneuver through those landscapes multiple times, bringing out somewhere between 75 to 100 folks and making sure that they enjoyed the same freedoms that she had taken for herself in 1849.
There were rocky roads. There were forests through which she had to find food by foraging. There were the moon and the stars and the sunsets and the sunrises that guided her. There were moss-covered trees that helped her find the right direction. There would be the calls of birds to learn and mimic so that she could secretly and intimately with nature control the traffic of her fellow freedom-seeking passengers.
The tools of the trade were, how do you manage in wooded areas? How do you manage moving across waterways? How do you continue to find your way north on trails when there are no signs and when you can't stop and ask for help because you are either an escaped slave or you are leading enslaved people to freedom. So there's no help necessarily that you can count on. You've got to be able to do this successfully by yourself. And that's what made Tubman such a great conductor on the Underground Railroad. She had that mastery of the natural environment. She understood how it worked and was able to make it work to her advantage.
Harriet's legacy is a legacy of crossing rivers, hiking fields and forests, understanding the life-giving properties of trees. It's a legacy of friendship and kinship with birds. It's a legacy of the magical illumination of the constellations. And it's a legacy of intellectual and spiritual demonstration. And it's a legacy that began right here in our region. Harriet Tubman was never afraid to cross a river. Her experience, her skill, her intelligence in nature are all reasons why we are honoring her with our 2021 Audubon Naturalist Society Taking Nature Black Legacy Environmental Champion Award.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty.